If you guys have watched the channel for a while, you know it's long been a goal of mine to add my first business credit card to my wallet. However, I had absolutely no intention that that card would be the Chase Inc. Business Preferred, and I had absolutely no clue that the time to do it would be right now. However, there were some massive changes that came about that led me to this decision, and obviously I'm gonna apply live for you guys in this video so you can follow along and see exactly how it goes down. Let me tell you about what I did, why I decided to do it, and answer your most common questions as I show you exactly how. I want to talk through two things in this Watch Me Apply style video, and both of them are very important from different angles. The first is going to be about my decision and how I justify getting this card. At a minimum, I expect to earn $1,800 in value. At a maximum, I'll expect to earn $3,900 in value on only a $95 annual fee credit card. The second is going to be more educational for you to look at your own wallets and see if this is a strategy that you could also implement. There are three big questions everybody has when they're thinking about business credit cards. The first is, do I need an actual business to open a business credit card? The second, of course, is, do I have to only put business expenses on this card, or can I mix in some personal expenses? And finally, of course, it's a Watch Me Apply style video, so you'll actually see me navigate the application and some of the hurdles that come with that to make sure you give yourself the best shot of getting approved. I had no intention of going for this card at this time. In short, life changed. Chase dropped the highest sign-up bonus ever, 120,000 ultimate reward points associated with getting this card and spending $8,000 in the first 3 months. Now, typically, even my personal expenses, I have a tough time spending $8,000 in 3 months. It's not impossible, but it would be a stretch. But because of some life changes, I'll absolutely be able to meet that spend on this card to make that sign-up bonus a guarantee. Also, I love Chase points. They're extremely valuable. At a minimum, they're worth 1.25 cents per point, meaning the $120,000 sign-up bonus is gonna give me $1,500 in value just from the welcome bonus alone. At the high end, if I transfer these points out over to Hyatt and spend them on an all-inclusive resort, I can get around 3 cents per point for that, and that would mean this sign-up bonus is valued at $3,600. On the elevated sign-up bonus, that's so much value at one time, it's really just too good to pass up. However, I was also clued in that running for at least the next month, Chase has a limited time business offer where if you open a new checking account and fund it, they'll give you a deposit bonus as a reward. Essentially, if you deposit between $2,000 and $30,000 into a new Chase checking account for a business, they'll give you a $300 bonus. If you deposit anywhere over $30,000, they'll give you a $750 bonus. Now, I don't have over $30,000 laying around to sit in a Chase account to meet the sign-up requirements, so I'm gonna deposit just over $2,000 and cash in a $300 bonus to add on top of the value that I'll get from this credit card as well. When you combine those two things, at a minimum, I'll earn $1,800 in value. On the high end, I'll earn $3,900 in value. Regardless, at a $95 annual fee, it's not even a decision whether this card is the right fit on its other features. The sign-up bonus is simply overwhelming. However, I still will use this card for some regular category spend. It earns 3x points in shopping, 3x points in advertising, 3x points in internet, cable, and phone, which I can use for this YouTube business, 3x on travel, 5x on Lyft through March 2025, and 1x points on everything else. Personally, I will be taking advantage of the internet and phone bill services, as well as paying my cell phone regularly with this and taking advantage of that cell phone protection offered on the card. Now, before I go in and apply live for you, I want to blend some of what I'm doing with some of the most common questions out there as it relates to this card, but also any other business credit card. The first being, do I have to have a business to apply for a business credit card? In short, the answer to that question is yes. You should have a business when applying for a business credit card. However, a business is not the typical business that you may drive by on the highway or see in passing online that you may be thinking of. To qualify for a business credit card, essentially any earnings you may have outside your typical W-4 job do qualify as a business in the eyes of the banks. Super common business examples that would qualify for a technical business to get a business credit card include things like blogging, which you could say would be this YouTube channel, flipping items on Facebook or eBay, or babysitting, dog sitting, or any type of education you may do, like coaching or teaching. You also can include gig economy workers if you've ever DoorDashed or driven Uber. Boom, right there is a business that then opens the gate for you to use a business card and take advantage of the massive bonuses that come with them. The second big question, do you have to put only business expenses on a business credit card? I'll tell you right off the bat, that is not my plan for this application and this card to meet the $8,000 sign-up bonus in the first 3 months. I simply don't have the business expenses running this YouTube channel to get even close. I pretty much top out at a couple $100s a month, and that may include buying some equipment from time to time. I'm gonna reference this Nerd Wallet article that states there's no law that prohibits using a business credit card for personal use. Now, the terms and conditions on most business credit cards will say, hey, this should be intended for business use, but there are so many data points out there of people getting business credit cards, putting some business spend on them, but also just mostly blending other personal spend with them and being fine. Their accounts don't get canceled and nothing really happens at the end of the day. Now, I'm gonna try to use this once I hit the sign-up bonus for strictly business expenses, and you should always be filing your business expenses separately if they're incorporated in anything other than a sole proprietorship, so you are abiding by the tax code and doing things correctly on that end. With that in mind, let me share my data points, and then I'll show you the application as I go through. For these data points, I went through Capital One because I admit I'm a sucker. Their layout shows the best data points as it relates to getting your credit score and what you need to know going into a card application. Capital One shows I have a 791 credit score, which they consider excellent. And I've only got 2 hard inquiries. For my Chase 524 status, I'm currently at 424, so I would be good there. And 2 of those cards I'm an authorized user on and not the owner. So technically, if I were to call the reconsideration line, those 2 cards wouldn't count against me anyways. I'll also throw up some other stats that are generally good information to know before you go in and apply. Now, I'm gonna jump in on my computer and walk you through the details of the application so you have the best chance yourself of following the same steps. All right, I'm gonna take you guys inside the Chase Inc. Business Preferred application. This is gonna take a little bit longer than a traditional application for a typical personal credit card. So I just filled it out ahead and I wanna walk you through the most important details to get you over any snags that could trip up your own application for this card or a different business card. The first thing on the application is gonna be your authorizing officer title. Basically, who are you in the business? For most of you, you're gonna be the owner unless your business is much more complicated than the vast majority of businesses out there. You'll fill in your basic name details, and for a lot of this is gonna be blurred out personal information. Of course, you can understand here, but you'll get the key ideas as you see me apply and either get accepted or denied for the card. Date of birth, maiden name, and some identifying information comes next. Social security number here is going to be your own, and later on it'll ask you for business identifying information, which could, again, if you're just doing a typical sole proprietorship, be your social security number. Again, we'll get to that part in a second. You'll fill in your address, nothing complicated here, and the best contact information for your business. Okay, financial information. This section is asking for your personal financial information. Gross income should be anything you expect to make throughout the entire year. It doesn't have to be down to the dollar or the cent. They just want to know a good estimate of where you stand. Now we get into business structure. The first thing you're going to see is a drop down for a number of different options. Again, the most common here are going to be limited liability company, which is what I have this YouTube channel since it is a technical business registered under. But a lot of you, if you're just applying for this card for yourself or any side hustles you kind of do, that's probably going to be a sole proprietorship. You'll write the legal name of your business, and basically that will exactly match what they want to print off on your Chase Inc. Business Preferred. You'll mark the number of employees. And now here's a very important part. You'll either put your employer identification number in, which I have one because I am a registered LLC, or for a lot of you, again, sole proprietors will just simply put their social security number. Any earnings you have in your business are just charged to you like typical income that you'll file on your tax return. You'll enter your address details and again, a business contact number. Then you'll get into business financials. Chase wants to know when you've established, what you expect to make, and what you're planning to put on their card, as they kind of determine whether you'd be a worthwhile person to issue a business credit card to. Now, I've slightly overestimated and put $1,000 of monthly spend. Some months when I'm buying equipment could reach that, but typical business expenses for a YouTube channel are really, really slim. So the only reason I put that a little bit higher was because I want Chase to think that I do have plans to spend quite a bit of money while utilizing their card. Business classification essentially describes anything that you're doing with your business. There is a ton of different options, and I put video creation, which led me to motion picture and video production at the end. I have 100% ownership in the business. I'm not adding any employees and getting duplicate cards for them. I agree to the pricing terms, interest rates, and all other details. And then I check that I've read and agreed to all the above. Fingers crossed on the submission. This is a really tense loading screen. This is 120,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points pending on this application going through successfully. All right, I got it. You're all set. Usually it says something a little bit like more clear, like you're approved or the Chase Inc. Business Preferred is yours. But this is awesome. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any comments or questions below in the chat. We'll see you in the next one.